It's almost Christmas, and we are in the thick of fantasy playoffs. Time to get into those picks right after this. Welcome back, my fantasy football Christmas elves. Hope you are having an amazing holiday season so far. You won in week 14, you're looking at the playoffs in week 15. You took home money in DraftKings last week and you're looking to buy presents with him, even if Devontae Parker put up a 0 in your lineup, which he did in ours, even though we still took home money. So let's get into those picks this week. But before that, it's Snowy the Bear time with that Zen as fuck. So let's get into that right away, shall we? Cheers, you beautiful mofos. Now let's start off with the quarterback as always, and the first guy we're going to talk about this week is of course Lamar Jackson. Guys, did you see what he did last week? That was a really incredible game for him. He ran all over the place, he threw all over the place, and he even went to the locker room to take a dump, allegedly. But hey, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what he did do, and it was epic, it was historic, and I think this week he's going to have to do the same thing. He has a great matchup, and he's priced at $7,500, which is a little high, but we're going to have to save some money elsewhere as we talk the running backs and the wide receivers. But first, you know what we got to do. We have to do this. And now on to the running backs, and let's just go right into the Jonathan Taylor. Come on, we did it, guys. He did it last week. He did what we wanted him to do. Thank you, Jonathan Taylor. Now do it again this week, please, and thank you. He's at 7,200. He's got Houston, which sucks at stopping the run, and it's a division rivalry. They're gonna be putting up points in this game. Expect Jonathan Taylor for another big day. 20 points, 25 points. He has that huge ceiling that he could probably hit, so we're gonna pair him with somebody else out in San Francisco, and that is Jeff Wilson Jr. Normally, I like to stay away from San Francisco running backs, but really Jeff Wilson Jr. is too solid to pass up on, especially that value at 5,100 going up against that Dallas D. Look, I think he's going to have another big day. He's very valuable, he's fast, he does what he needs to do, and they're going to stick with him. I think Mostert might be out. McKinnon really isn't a factor there, so expect Wilson to have a big day. And before we talk wide receivers, Snowy the Bear has something to say to you. And now on to the wide receivers, and let's go back to that well we dug in last week, and let's pick out T.Y. Hilton, because they haven't figured out his value. He's still 5,500. He's getting targeted a lot now, and again, like I mentioned before, divisional matchup. Houston doesn't scare anybody on defense, and I think T.Y. is going to have another big day in order for them to win, so we're going to pair him with another one in that same game, and it's somebody else that has been showing up lately, caught 7 of 7 targets, and that is Chad Henson. He is an apple of Deshaun's eye all of a sudden. He is a practice squad hero. They like what they have in this guy, and he catches everything thrown to him. So expect him to have another nice day. We like that value at 4,200, and we're going to go back out to San Francisco and pair him with that rookie wide receiver that is just lighting up, and that's Brandon Ayuk. I like how he looks out there. He catches, again, everything in his path, and he has a lot of yak, which is yards after the catch, which is what we like. He is an end zone target, and I think they're going to get him the ball early and often, especially if Deebo Samuel is out, and he has a nice value at 6,300. It is a little high for that talent, but I expect him to have a nice day, looking at that floor at about 15 points with that high ceiling about 25. So get him in your lineups, and let's talk about those tight ends. And we need to get a little fresher in our face. And I had to switch over to the palm because I'm not smart and didn't charge the vapor slide. So cheers, everybody. And now on to the tight ends. I got two I'm going to tell you about this week, and the first one we're going to talk about is TJ Hawkinson. I like the matchup against Tennessee this week. Of course, Tennessee has to win, but so does Detroit. They need another W. So expect TJ to have another big day. He's the potential for another big blow up. So pair him with another tight end this week to save you some money, and that is Irv Smith Jr. in Minnesota. Look, Kyle Rudolph might be out, and when he's out, Irv Smith gets his targets, and he also gets Irv Smith's targets. So it's a double load, and he could see the end zone again. And at that 3,600 value to throw in your flex, that's pretty nice. So if you see any other values you might want to throw in your flex, let me know. But I really think Irv Smith is the guy to go with this week. He's going to give you that solid 10 to 15 that you might need, and get him in your lineup. And now before we talk that defense, let's talk to Snowy one more time. And lastly, let's talk about that defense. And unfortunately, I hate paying up for defenses, but we have to do that this week because it is the Rams going against the Jets. The Jets suck. I have nothing else to say, but the Jets are just terrible. Just play the defense going up against the Jets. You're going to get yourself some points. So get the Rams in your lineup at 4,500, and that should round out the lineup for the week, guys. Again, I hope you're copying it, making some money as always. And if you have any suggestions, hit me up on Instagram at GoStonerLife. And we are going to talk fantasy football Saturday morning again with Trap Cultures. So we're going to go live on Instagram. Make sure you guys check that out. It's a great time. And before we get out of here, as always, you know we got a dab. And this week, we are back with the Dr. Dabber, and we got some of this delicious key lime right here. We're going to load it up. And I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me as always. Hope you're having a great holiday season so far. And if you do want to pick this up last minute for a gift for somebody, please use code GoStoner. It's going to save you 15% on this or any Dr. Dabber products. I haven't tried the Switch yet. I keep hearing it's amazing. So you might want to check that one out too. And if you do, let me know in the comments what you think about that, or this, or any other Dr. Dabber products that you got, or any products that you are recommending that any stoner has for this holiday season. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you all out there. Keep doing what you're doing for the community. May the money be with you. Fucking stay beautiful, and most importantly, stay lit.